All right, so this is the movie assignment. I'm choosing to do mine on The Road Within. It's a 2014 comedy drama. I watched it probably a couple weeks ago. It was a great movie. It's following a main protagonist. His name is Vincent. And after his mom passes away, his father sends him to a clinic because he has Tourette syndrome and his father wasn't really all in on fatherhood, for lack of better words. So Vincent gets sent to a clinic. He bonds with Mary, a girl who he finds attractive, and definitely there's that interest, the love interest aspect. And then Alex is his roommate. And so I mentioned Vincent has Tourette syndrome. Mary has anorexia, and Alex has OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So it follows Vincent, though, the main protagonist. What happens is those three end up breaking out of the clinic, and they go on this road trip, and it's almost like a manic road trip, really, like comparing it to like a manic episode, really. It was compulsive what they did, and they were going to the beach because that's like a meaningful place to Vincent and his mom and their relationship, and it was kind of going to be closure for him because he wasn't, if I remember correctly, Vincent wouldn't be able to be at the funeral, but his dad would. And his dad, I think they were divorced towards the end, and it was a very weird situation, and Vincent was very bitter just from that, really. And it was a great movie, though, because in the beginning, Vincent and Alex aren't getting along because Alex is OCD and had his very set way. And so getting a roommate was a big red flag in his eyes. But it was an amazing movie because it followed how they were able to bond and navigate each other's. It was like navigating each other's faults or the cons, the negative things that they saw in each other. They were able to overcome that and really find humor in it, because it is a comedy after all. The movie was very funny, but they were able to find humor in each other's disorders and whatnot. And it was in a way that it really promoted their relationships with one another, and they found on equal ground. So how this relates to like our course topics, like we talk about coping and grieving, which is exactly what Vincent is doing. And it's amazing because it was a beautiful, like dynamic, that's not the right word. It was like a beautiful unfolding of the movie where it shows Vincent in like the dark place, but how he's able to climb out of that and gain some new friends and actually start the mending process with his father. Because in the end, it also showcases, I forgot to mention this earlier, but it showcases the clinic director and the father, and they're chasing after the three because the three stole the clinic director's car to go on a road trip. And it shows those two following them, and even though it's the father figure, and even though it's the clinic director who's the doctor, right, it shows that their lives are not perfect. And it's amazing because it shows the contrast of like they're after these young adults. Yeah, they were young adults, and like they're after them, like playing this like I know better role. But it was really beautiful because it kind of showcased like they're just as messed up as everyone else. Like we're all human, we all make mistakes, we're all flawed in our own. It's reality, really. And relating it back to course objectives, we talked about the grieving and coping, but also caregivers in their role, because the father really kind of experienced compassion fatigue to a certain extent. And it was really, that might be a bit of a stretch in all honesty, but it really does showcase like how the father really didn't want to have to, it was a burden. That was the message. Like the father even says it's like, it feels like a burden, like calling you my son, you being my son, like talking to Vincent. But in the end, they do start the mending process because the father does apologize, and it's kind of a realization where he's very vulnerable to Vincent, just saying, I messed up. I was not there for you. And And I have not been there for you. I was not. I recognize that, and I want to be better. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for just the chance. And it was a good moment for that. And I thought it was great just relating it to physical therapy, because not every patient will have disorders like that coming in, but every patient is battling, it has their own battle going on. And it can be important to develop like these new skills. I guess for me, as a student and thinking about my future profession, it allows me to be curious and thinking forward to, I can learn new skills that I never thought that I could learn before. Because I doubt Vincent, before going to this clinic, would have ever thought he could make friends with an anorexic person, or a person with anorexia who was anorexic, or a person with OCD, and doing a crazy road trip like that, and just all the crazy twists and turns, because it's a movie and it's entertaining after all. But it's really cool kind of seeing that, and I can also relate that to my future practice, where I can be curious and think, yeah, why can't I learn new skills and develop these relationships with patients with types of personalities, I should say, in my future patients that I would never have thought of before, or never thought I could have before. So I like to think that way, like just kind of keeping an open mind about that. And then I'm looking at the submission requirements. Yeah, I guess what I took from the movie, I feel like everything I've been saying has been that, but really what I took from the movie was honestly what I really just said, like that I can be curious going into the future, like, oh yeah, I can learn these skills too. And it's not impossible, or it's not unlikely, because I'll see all types of patients. I'll treat all types of people, because I want to have a long career, and I plan to have a long career. And so I want to be good at developing these skills now and being exposed to these ideas, because getting exposed early will lead to more success in the future. So that was a good reflecting moment right there. Yeah, that might conclude the movie. It was a good movie, worth the watch if you haven't seen it already. I know it's not on the movie examples, but it was definitely a great movie, and yeah, I thought it was worth the watch. But enjoy. Thank you.